Today we'll be looking at designing this three pit card here for vehicles. You have your sedans, SUVs, and luxury. And then we'll also be designing it on also the mobile version. I think we also have the mobile design here. So we'll be adding a media query at the end of our CSS to help this align properly on your mobile device. Now that's the whole essence of having a responsive design. Being able to have different designs on different screen sizes to make it fit properly. All right, so here we have our desktop design all aligned perfectly. From the left to the right, you have your sedans, SUVs, and luxury. And then here you have your mobile design. Okay, so let's jump into our HTML. All right, so I already copied the write up here, so I have to look for them. So the first thing we'll be doing is creating an all-encompassing box. So I'm going to use that as the main. So this is the main that we'll be using to wrap all our different boxes. So I'm going to have the first box, which in this case would be our sedan. So I'm going to have a div with a class of sedan. Now inside of every box, we first of all have an image. So I'm going to add an image. All right, the class of sedan image for the source. So after that, we have our H1. Sedan. Then you have your write up. Just gonna copy it from here. Let's make this a little more readable. Okay, yeah, that works. And then you have your button. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this for the two other sections. Okay, so basically we are done with our HTML. We have our sedans right here, SUV and your luxury. Now let's jump into our CSS. So the first thing you want to do is to remove the padding and your margin from your CSS elements. So we're going to do that by selecting everything. Okay. Next thing you want to do is to add the display flex to our main elements here. So add the display flex to our main element to help these three elements to align side by side. So I'm going to have our main. And I'm going to use a display flex. Right, so I'm going to give this a width 90% of our screen. So this is going to take 90% of the body element, which because the parent element for this main is our body. So giving it a width of 90% means it's going to take 90% of this element here. Okay, so let's center that. We're gonna add a padding top. Let's say 40 pixels. Okay. All right. Next, we're gonna work on our different cards here. We have our sedans, SUV, and luxury. So first of all, we want to call our sedans, and we're gonna use this background color of let's say orange. Let's make this a little darker. All right. Or we can leave it light. Okay, that works. And then for our SUVs, I'm gonna give it a background color, whatever this is. Let's say blue. All right. Or we can work with dark green. All right, so we're done with that. Now let's give all of this a consistent padding of um, 50 pixels on the at the top and the bottom, then 10 pixels to the left and the right. So how do we do that? Give our padding. So we say 50 pixels top and bottom, and pixels for your left and right. All right, so we're just gonna copy this and paste it here and here. All right, so we have a consistent padding in all of our cards here. Now let's select our image elements. So I'm not going to select the different classes because we have just three images here, and we pretty much want the same thing for each of them, just to add a little space in here. Before that, let's give this color, something like this. All right, I think that's fair. So we want the same spacing for all of our images, but in a different scenario, I'm going to have to select each of them and give them a different styling if I want to. So here I'm going to give this a padding button. I say 10 pixel. Or maybe we can make that 15. Alright, I think that's okay. And then we can also select our H1s. Give this a padding bottom also. 15 pixels. And then we can go straight into styling our buttons. We can first of all give it a margin top, just to give it a little separation from our paragraph here. Let's say 15 pixels. Alright, I think that works. The next thing we're going to do Let's also give this a padding. For the top and the bottom, we want it's 5 pixels and then 10 pixels for the right and the left. All right, that's okay. Let's remove our border. So, okay. Let's increase our font weights, make it a little bolder. Okay, I think that's better. Um, let's add the border radius. Let's say 20%. Ouch. So 50 pixels. All right, I think that's better. Okay, and we're pretty much done. Let's see. Except maybe we're going to need a little more padding between our button and our paragraph here. So let's add that. Maybe we can increase our margin on our button. Let's make it 30 pixels. And we can also add a padding bottom. Right, I think that's looking better. Yes, it is looking better indeed. Okay, so that's it for our mobile styling. Let's see. Let's make this let's think right here we have some curve on the screen. Right, let's fine tune this a little bit. Maybe 5 pixel border radius. So I'm gonna come to my sedans right here. I'm gonna say border top left radius, let's say 5 pixels. That's small, let's make it 10. Alright, that's better. And then I'm gonna say border bottom left radius and pixels. Alright, that's looking better. Then I'm going to come to our luxury. We're going to select the top right radius for our border and give it 10 pixel. And then we'll also do the same for our bottom right corner. Also give it 10 pixel radius. Alright, that's pretty that for our uh, desktop design. Okay. And this is responsive. Yes. Okay, it's responsive. Now we want to add our media query to this to also make it responsive on mobile. First of all, let me turn on my developer tool here. So, all right, so here we have our developer tool. So now notice when this gets smaller and smaller, let's say this is a mobile phone with a 600 pixel. All right, so you really want it to have a different kind of dimension when you are on your mobile device. When it really gets small. Of course, I don't think there's any device that really has this dimension or this width of 300 pixel. But the standard for mobile design is usually 575 pixel, but we use 600 just to round it off. So you want your website to change just like we have it here on our mobile design. So have a different styling on our mobile design. And the way you do that is by adding a media query. So I'm going to open my developer tools. Now I'm going to explain what this means in a moment. Okay, so what you're basically doing is telling um, your document or your web page that whenever it gets to a maximum width of 600 pixel, something should happen. Now, when you say max width with your media query, it's more like the opposite of it. In a in the normal way. You know, originally when you say max width, it kind of means when you get to 600 pixel, but this is kind of like the other way around. So when you say max width, it's like from 0 to 600 pixel. So whatever line of code you write here is going to be applicable from 0 pixel to 600 pixel, and it's the other way when you write minimum width. Minimum width means from 600 pixels and above. So let's just give this styling here. Let's say a BTN. Let's change the color to um, brown. I don't know how obvious that's going to be. But notice here 602, the width of 602, 22, sorry. And when we reduce this, notice the color changes. All right, that's not obvious. Let's pick something that's a little more obvious. Let's say um, our sedan. Our sedans. I'm going to change the background color to red. All right, now notice when we get to 600 right here, the color of this changes to red. And the moment goes above 600, 601 right here, changes back to orange. All right, so that's how you apply media query to your web page. Goes down, red, goes up, orange, and that. So what do we want to do here? You just want to, but this is going to be pretty simple, of course. When you're writing more complicated web pages, you're going to have to add more complicated designs for your media query. But for this, we just want to change this from display flex to display block. So we're going to say media, sorry, main, and display of block. Save that. Now notice nothing happens. But when it goes below 600, all right, that's it right here. So changes to um, so it changes. Now let's add some styling. Let's remove the this border radius here and add it right here. So still for our sedans, we're gonna say our bottom right radius, right? Or bottom left, sorry. I'm gonna give it none. Okay, let's see. All right, 0 pixels. I was gonna cancel it now, but 0 pixel works just fine. Now we're gonna add some border to this. So let's say top right radius 10 pixels. All right. Now we want to reduce this, the one for our top right radius here, and add it to our bottom right radius. And that should be for luxury. Uh, for that top left, sorry, it's supposed to be top right. 0 pixels. Okay, that's gone. And then for that top, bottom left, bottom left radius 10 pixels. All right, so let's add a little padding at the bottom here. And then let's see. Okay, all right, that works just fine. So this is the styling for your mobile device. Or maybe we can, let's say, center our button on our mobile device. Or I think it's pretty much okay here. Let's see. All right, everyone. That's it for our card design. See, it's responsive on our mobile device and also the same on our desktop view. So if we open this up, this is how it looks on your desktop. And you shrink it down to your mobile device. It also looks responsive. All right, so that's it for this class. This is actually a challenge from Frontend Mentor. I'm going to jump the link to the file in the description below so you can also go try it out. All right, guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next video.